Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about her. You know, the chick that was once popular is no longer popular. This particular chick I checked up on, I think, a couple weeks ago online, and just seeing how she was doing. And as far as her dating life, it's not good. And I'm gonna say this, not to be cruel, but just being honest. She's a butterhead. For the ones who don't know what butterhead means, I mean, everything looks good but her head. She literally just she had her father's head literally, and her mom's body. But yeah, she just she's not the best looking chick, but she has a nice body, and also she has a nice personality, and she nasty. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, she's nasty. So checked up on her, and mind you, we're older now, and everything's not the same, right? So she's older, she done gained some weight, she's no longer tight and fit anymore. She's struggling with going back and forth to the gym. So she's in that, she basically look like a mom now. She has a mom bod pretty much without having any kids. So she's doing that, she's still doing other stuff, whatever, trying to just figure it out. And yeah, I remember when I was messing with her, she never had a problem getting boyfriends. Like, I'm not saying like dudes she hooked up with. Like, no, she actually had boyfriends. Like, me and her was best around for, I don't know, not that long, but even still, like, she never had a problem getting boyfriends. And that's the difference between, you hooking up with guys compared to you keeping them. So she always had that, but now she got older. And remember, I told you guys before my old video, she's easy to get along with. She's a great talker. She does all that stuff, but the sad reality is, a lot of guys that'll see a chick like that, they freak out. They freak out. First of all, they're not used to dealing with a chick like that. So if they do run across a chick like that, most of the time a guy will freak out, he'll be irresponsible, and he'll just end up just sleeping with her and then like leaving her high and dry. When in reality, the intention was to actually, to be with that person. She actually, she's not like that. She wanted to be with the guy. You know what I mean? She'll get married and all that stuff like that. She was telling me about that, kids and all that stuff like that. But she wasn't just gonna have kids with anyone. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted to do everything the right way. And it's kind of funny because somebody might come across a video like, oh, she doing everything the right way, but she's still sleeping around. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. It's not a perfect life, right? You just gotta make it, make life based off how you want it to be. But other than that, she never had a problem getting a guy. But normally when she do get a guy, you have some that, I'm gonna say this too. You got a lot of, losers that think they players or whatever like that. Oh yeah, I smashed it. Those same guys I tell you about who will end up sleeping with a co-worker, then they'll go back to work and tell everybody. It's some same kind of guys. So they'll run across a chick like that, and they think they players when in reality they not, and they end up just sleeping with her, and then they run away. You know what I mean? So that's a sad reality with that. So sad to say that all the guys she ended up with, they never did. None of them latched on to her, right? She never was able to get like a legitimate relationship out of it. As far as like something long term, like I said, she ain't got no problem getting relations, but as far as something long term, that's what she falls short on. So I'm gonna say this too. I know her looks has a lot to do with it. Like I say, you see her, you be like, you kind of second guess her because, like I say, her face or whatever. It's not necessarily her face. She just, it's just her face, her head is not. Doesn't compliment her body. That's what I want to say. So you have some guys who's just real shallow or whatever like that, and then they can sleep with her, they'll sleep with her, they'll leave. So right now, like I said, she pretty much got a mom bod with no kids, and she's having difficulties, getting guys. So remember, they prime, and I met her. She was in her, she wasn't, she was a little older than me, but we still was in our 20s or whatever. But after a certain age, like I tell you guys all the time, after a certain age, 26, some is before 26, but just after 26, well, when they hit 26, when their body really starts to decline, because I tell you guys all the time, they get lazy, they start getting fat, and that's what happens. So with her, not necessarily she's lazy, but she didn't keep up with that fitness routine. And a lot of times what it was, she was just young. Now that she's older, like she's in her late 30s now, she probably, matter of fact, she's in her 40s, because she was, like I said, she was older than me. So the fact that she got older, her body started to, she wasn't able to keep up with that whole fitness regimen. But to be fair with you, she was young, so she had a high metabolism, and that helped out a lot. So now all that stuff slowed down. She's not so appealing now, because remember, her body was great, her face isn't, but her body was great. So, and she was young too. So people like, dudes that she ran across like, shit, I'll take that. Like, I ain't tripping on her head, but, she banging. She, Other than that, she banging. She young, she tight. I go for it. Now she older. All them same guys that was giving her attention or was going after her, they no longer want to do that. Now she's an older woman. So now she's the same, those guys. And I was going through her profile, the Instagram, and I'm like, damn, I'm reading the comments, doing my own little research. I'm like, damn, she over here having a hard time getting a dude. And the fact about it is, the dude that she do, not saying she get him, but dudes don't even want to hang out with her, because you know how it is. Like, people be, they go together. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants that, because she don't look the same. I'm gonna say her body don't look the same. Well, she not young. I'm gonna say that she not young anymore, bro. So these guys that do hang out with her, they're ashamed to take pictures with her out in public and post it on their social media. Because I'm reading the comments. I'm like, damn, like that's messed up. Like, she'll be like, one guy was like, I hear you always saying, we're ashamed to post you on our social media. So here you go. I'm like, wow. So it's that bad, bro. To where, she do hang. She got some guys she can hang out with. They're ashamed to be seen with her in public, or if anything, like to put her on their social media. Not saying they sleep with her, but it's just the fact that they don't really want. They're ashamed to be around her in public. It's to that point. You know what I mean? So it's real sad. Now, I was just, her girlfriends, they gonna still do their thing, but she at the point now to where she at the other end of a lifespan. So remember when I was messing with her, she was, like I said, that's the thing too. You guys, not saying you gotta do it or whatever, but there's plenty of girls that I done dealt with that like they butterheads. But I'm like, hey, bro, their body, and then on top of that, the personality that would seal the deal. I'm like, dang, she ain't her body straight, but now her personality would always drew me in on top of that as well. Like I said, you gotta be flexible. At the end of the day, you ain't gotta do what I did. I'm just telling you what I've been going through. So the fact that when I got one when she was younger, like I said, she had a banging person. She still do now, but she was young. She had a crazy personality. You know what I mean? She was nasty at the same time. It's like it was a win-win. You know what I mean? So now that she older, she don't get that. She's not getting that same kind of attention she was when she was younger. Like I say, still got the same personality. It's just the fact that her body ain't the same no more. You know what I mean? So most people they'll look over like one thing or maybe two, but as far as a woman, like I say, you only got three. You got your looks, you got your personality, and then after that's probably what kind of woman are you? You out there running the streets or not? So in that case, they have less. They have a smaller window to be imperfect. You know what I mean? In the whoever the guys, as far as whoever the guy is trying to get with her. So the fact that she didn't have the look, but her body was straight and she had a great personality, the best two out of three, right? That's what I'm getting at. So she won every single time. You know what I mean? Now whether they took her serious or not, it come down to the guy. But I'm gonna say this too: if you make it easy for them, then most of the time they're not gonna take you serious. You know what I mean? They're just gonna be like, okay, whatever, I'll just sleep with it and I'll get out of here. So if it's too easy, that's the double-edged sword. If they make it too easy for you, then it's a high chance that you won't take them serious. So that's one of them things too. So like I said, she wasn't hard to get with, be honest with you, but you gotta have a lot of guys who's insecure and, oh man, she probably do this with everybody. I mean, guys, they start thinking like that, when in reality, she never yours, it's just your turn. So in that case, she really ran into a lot of guys that was like that. They're like, oh man, she probably do this to everybody, or a lot of times, like I say, she a tall girl, she a big girl, so a lot of guys gonna be intimidated because again, she's tall, like I'm tall too, but she's tall. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about 5'8", like nah, she about 5'10" or something like that, or what last I can remember. She tall, she a tall girl. You know what I mean? She a tall girl, she fit, and she young. So the average dude who's not tall and fit is gonna be intimidated. You know what I mean? So that's really what she was just suffering from her success. It's like DJ Khaled. She was suffering from her success. You know what I mean? So now that she's older, she's not getting that same attention. Now the guys that probably do want to talk to her, she know they just want to sleep with her, and it's on some late night creep stuff, and then they gonna go ahead and get up out of there. So it's a sad reality for her. And like I say, the best thing she can do is get back in shape. And then like I say, that's the reality that these females won't tell you online. They make it seem like it's all good in the neighborhoods. Like, nah, when you get to a certain age, life is gonna hit you like a ton of bricks, and that's what happened with her. Like I said, the best thing for her, she don't have no kids, and you know, the sad part about it is most likely she can't have kids because she's, like I say, she's in her 40s now. So the best thing she can do is get herself back in shape, and then just hope for the best and try to get her, you know, at least a dude who actually want to be with her. Because like I said, the guys that she know now, they try to hide her, you know, they're ashamed to be around her, they don't want to be seen with her. And like I said, if anything, they'll probably try to sleep with her. Like, and that's only if they down bad, because again, she don't look the same, bro. You know, when she was younger, when I was messing with her, because she was like, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, them dudes be trying to get at her. Because like I say, you know, she didn't have the best looking face, but her body, bro, it's like her body's like, God dang, you looking at her, you know what I mean? She got a, I mean, she was right, bro. Like I say, she was young, she was right, she was tight, and on top of that, she had a great personality. You would actually enjoy being with her, bro. Like, we would go out on dates and just go out and just be hanging out at her place and stuff like that. It was great. You will actually enjoy your you know, being with her. Not, you know, you got some chicks that you just want to hurry and sleep with, just get out the way. Some of them you don't even want to sleep with because they just so annoying, they just turn you off. But some of them you like, man, let me just hurry and sleep with her and get her out of here. But her, like, nah, you actually want to spend time with her and stuff like that, bro. So that's the thing about it. She just had that wonderful personality on top of her. You know, she took care of herself. But on top of that, she's young, so it's not so much maintenance when you're young, right? Like I said, the high metabolism helps her out a lot. And she took care of herself, bro. She went over here just eating trash all day and nothing like that. She wasn't smoking. You know, she'll go out and drink or whatever like that, but she wasn't that average American that you see that's all fat and nasty. You know what I mean? Nah, she just took care of herself. So it's sad to see her like that now. And like I say, the only thing that's going to help her is she just get back in shape. And then, like I say, she just got to get back out there in the dating scene and hope that she end up getting with a guy who's not shallow. And then, you know, they can go ahead and just seal the deal and then go from there. So that's just reality, bro. This is a update on her. Like I said, I was dating her like when I don't think it was like my late 20s or something like that. But yeah, she one of the ones I ain't gonna never forget, bro. That's what it is. Like, she wasn't a total package, but she was, like I say, the best out of three. So you know, so that's how that happened. But other than that, that's normally what happens. You have a lot of women who do have good intentions, but they'll run across a lot of insecure guys, especially if they look nothing, if they don't compliment her. Cause like I said, her being a tall, fit girl, the average guy, like I said, the average guy in America anyway, I think they said it was like 5'8" or something like that. So the average guy she normally ran across was short and fat. They was always short and fat. If they weren't short and fat, they were short and scrawny. So automatically, if the dude is short and fat, he automatically got low self-esteem and stuff like that. So cause he looking at her, he like, dang, like, you know what I mean? She looking like this, I'm over here looking like that. Remember, you can't do nothing about your height. You can do something about your weight and your finances, but you can't do nothing about your height. So you got, you know, she'll have guys like that that's just like insecure because of her. And then on top of that, you know, she goes out and stuff like that. So y'all going out, all the dudes checking her out, and you over there looking like the oddball. They don't even you know, think that you guys go together because you don't match, you don't compliment each other. You know what I mean? So it's just not her fault by being tall and, you know, and being fit. This is a lifestyle. This is, you know, how she was created. You know, obviously the fit part she did on her own, but it's not her fault that she tall. You know what I mean? This is what it is. But she wasn't the kind that would be judging guys like, oh yeah, he gotta be 7'2", and you know, that's before all the social media hypocrisy came around. That was years ago, before all this stuff happened. This stuff just started happening. But at that time, none of that stuff was, I mean, social media was around, but that stuff wasn't, none of that stuff was happening. But even still, she wasn't that chick that was like, oh, he gotta be 7'2", he gotta make $300 million a year. No. She wasn't like that. At the end of the day, she was all going off your vibe, bro. If you liked her, she liked you, then for the most part, you know, she gonna make it do what it do. But now you got a lot of females who insecure. They all, you know, like I say, they got the high demands and stuff like that, and they just completely ran down. It's not even worth investing into them at all. They just completely destroyed. That's just what it is. So in her case, that's the sad reality. But she's not the only female that go through that. Like I said, she out there doing her thing. Like, but she, you know, if a guy want to lock it down, she'll go ahead and play that role. But if you out there just messing up or whatever like that, she'll get rid of you. So she was doing it. You know, she was living by the right intentions. It's just that the dating pool that she was in was just, it didn't work out for her at the end. Like I say, I mean, not saying she can't find somebody still, but I guarantee you, if she wants somebody to really take her serious, she just gotta get back in shape. Obviously, she's not gonna be the same fit and tight chick she was when I met her. But as long as she in shape, she always gonna have more options. That's with anybody. If you stay in shape, if you get in shape, stay in shape, you always have more options than the average person. 'Cause the average person in America is fat, bro. So not even saying you gotta be a bodybuilder. We're not talking about that. But if you're a slim, trim dude, you're gonna always have more options than any other guy in America. I promise you that, bro. But in another situation, she gotta get back in shape. And on top of that, she just it's gonna be hard for her. Like I said, 'cause she older now, it's gonna be hard for her. And the thing too, she gonna have to just get out that social circle. She know a lot of people and everybody, they talk, network, and I'm pretty sure that's normally what happens. She she got around, you know what I mean? 'Cause she slept the next dude she slept with, the other dude before her knew her and so forth. That's normally what happens. That's the downside of being in a social circle. If you can't sleep around like that, 'cause once everybody find out, that's a wrap. No one will take you serious. So most likely that's what happened to her. She didn't slept with the wrong guys, and then the word got out, and then now everybody in the crew know about it. And they, he had a couple more guys in the group that slept with her, so that would kill her reputation with that. You know what I mean? That's why you can't be too openly with your body. As a woman, a lot of them get caught up in the popularity, and they the cool chick and this and that. They get caught up in that, and they end up, being too not I don't want to say a hoe. That's not the case, but you can call it what you want, but that's the downfall, because the cool chicks, they tend to get passed around, or whether they want to admit it or not. And that what normally happens is they name get out there, and everybody then a majority of people had got their turn with her, and then nobody take her serious no more. So if she do meet a new guy, somebody know that guy, and then they gonna lace him up like, hey bro, like, just let don't take her serious, and then that's what's gonna happen. So it's a slippery slope. That's why it's so important for females like that to not to rack up these bodies. And if anything, the worst thing you could ever do as a female is sleep with guys that know each other. That's the worst thing they can do. So that's the situation she in right now, and it's not gonna be the same. She's never gonna have the same option she had when she was younger. But the best thing she can do right now to help her is to get back in shape, and then leave that social circle she in. Not saying she gotta just stop talking to everybody, but she do gotta go venture outside of that social circle. She can't be sleeping with guys who know each other and everybody knows she can't do that. She literally had to leave that social circle to find a complete brand new unknown guy. That's the best option she have. Like I said, she ain't got no kids, you know what I mean? She ain't no gangbanger, nothing like that. She ain't no felon, nothing like that. She's a regular old working girl that fell on hard times. So that's just reality, bro. It's sad to see it, but at the end of the day, I'm glad she's doing okay. But her dating life is in shambles. So that happens, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I seen the prettiest chicks, you know what I mean? I know a few, they damn bad, bro. They can't, they name out there too much to where everybody know it, whether they slept with her or not. But it's too late for us. The only thing she can do is let she leave the state or something like that. She find her, she gotta find a complete stranger that nobody knows, that's not even from the city, for her to have a chance. But the way where she at right now, it ain't gonna work out for him. Same thing with her. Like I say, she not the best looking chick, but she had a banging body and she had a great personality. So yeah, but that's just reality. So that's why it's so important for females to not get around so much, and not really get around at all, to be honest with you. But in her case, it's real bad. And like I say, it's to the point now to where these guys are ashamed to be seen with her in public, or if so, they don't want any evidence. They don't want any pictures of them online with her, nothing like that. They literally try to hide the fact that they know her, which is terrible, because at the end of the day, you should never do nobody like that, man. You know what I mean? But that's just where she at right now. That's the downside of being the fun girl, the cool chick, or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, you got some women out here, they actually looking for companionship. It's just hard for them to find a guy who take them serious. That's really what it is. Like I say, if you take her serious, she wasn't on no BS. It's just that she couldn't find no guy that'll take her serious. You know what I mean? Even when I was dating, I was messed up, man. I was messed up. Even if I really wanted to be with her, I'm like, man, ain't gonna work out. I'm messed up right now. Money ain't straight, and I'm over here just down bad. So if I continue hanging out with her, shit, I'm holding her back. You know what I mean? I'm holding her back from her true potential, or whatever. I can't, she can't benefit off me outside of sex or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just reality. So I had to step away from that. But yeah, that's just what it is. Some of these girls, they actually out here for real, man, but they just can't find a guy that'll take them serious. And the worst thing they can do is keep going to the next guy giving their body to them. And that's the terror. That's that's an addiction at the end of the day, whether you want to realize that or not. And it's hard to get out of it. And especially it's only gonna take so many guys to sleep with that same female, and then all of a sudden, a name get out there, and you know how that is. You probably didn't experience that in high school or something. It's hard to bounce back from that. Most time they ain't gonna never bounce back from that, even when they get older. It just stays with them forever. So yeah, that's the sad reality, man. But like I said, I ain't got no hate towards her. At some point, I'll try to reach out to her and try to, get with her and go out, or just hang out with her, something like that, man. So, because certain people in this position, they feel like they can just never get theirs. You know what I mean? They can never, because some people, they probably won't do it on social media, but they'll do it at home, crying and, whoa, when's gonna be my time to find somebody who really love me and this and that. So, good people, at the end of the day, all these videos I'm posting, bro, if you know a good person, keep them people around. Like I said, it ain't even about sex and all like that. It's just in general, bro. Like, it's hard to find good people. It is, bro. I promise you. So if you know a good person, keep them around no matter what, bro. So anyway, this video's came to an end. If you got any questions and concerns, leave them down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And no matter what, always protect your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.